faces, all these familiar faces, the peoples that I know, and that makes me feel good because I feel you are my fans. You'll see if you are my fans when I'm done with you. But we start out and we try, all right? So today is going to be very strange because it is all about, this Spizzy is all about the men's. So I have interviewed lots of people who are not men's. You know men's? Let me explain what men is. Men have penises. I know we don't like to talk about that. Sometimes it's ugly word, but it's sort of important to know that. So the first thing, I'm going to do a poll because tonight we have all the men's. And I'm going to say, we'll start easy. How many of you know some men's? Raise your hand to show me. Okay, good. Okay, now the questions get a lot harder very quickly. So, how many of you like the men's?
Oh my God.
Well, then we have a sympathetic audience. Are there people who don't like the men's? So that's very good because I feel right now, there's somebody back there. But I have people, who's that? I don't know if I know that. Oh yes, I do. Okay, so the thing about the men's is I don't feel that they are very popular right now. And don't get me wrong. I do agree with the women's liberation. Spizzy loves that. It's very important that the power to the woman, especially the power, that's all I'm going to say because that's men's, but the power of the woman to desire, that to me is very important because we forget that the women, they have lots of desire, and we always think only the men's do, or women do, but this is enough with the women's. So women's liberation, very, very important. But then there is the men's. Sometimes I think we forget about them lately. I mean, I got into big trouble. This was back in 2018, Nightmare, when there was a book that came out, and it was called I'm Afraid of Men. And it was a very popular book. And I did this review, and I say, no, well, Sky did it. The Sky Spizzy thing is very complicated. Although I'm not Spizzy, I'm Sky. But Spizzy better, right? No, well, Spizzy different. Anyway, Spizzy different. And Spizzy is like Sky, is like a poem. What I am now is like a poem. Obsessed with beauty. Not that I'm beautiful, but I am obsessed with the beauty. Sky also obsessed with beauty, but in a slightly different way. Anyway, I got into all of this trouble with this review about I'm Afraid of Men because I said, well, why are you afraid of the men's? I know, okay. Sometimes the men's, well, not often, sometimes, that's important. Sometimes the men's, they do the rape. Rape not very bad, right? But the whole point is that not all men's do the rapes, right? And you know what? There is some, they usually rape the women, but sometimes and that, you know the problem with that? That's heterosexuality. I do not nothing against the heterosexuality. I know there are some heterosexuals here, they are good friends of mine, I like them, but I don't understand this whole heterosexuality thing. Because I never was one. I pretended to be, you remember that. You remember when I pretended, I have a woman who remembers when I pretended to be heterosexual. But it confused me very much. And I think, good at it. Well, I wasn't very good. I was terrible at it. I was a mess at that whole thing. So anyway, what I'm saying is that sometimes that is about the men's and the women's, but it's different with the gay, and that's what we get to is the gay part of it. And there are some very nice men's out there, very sweet men's. And Spizzy has been out there on the street in the lavatory, okay, only occasionally in the lavatory, but in the park, in the parking lot, behind the tree. Yes, I've been there, some of you have been, and I have been doing that sort of thing for years, and I still do it. And I never met a bad man. Now, I met lots of boring men who was not very good with the stuff that we do, but that's one thing. They're not very good at the sex thing, but nobody ever hurt me. No one ever threatened me. Never like that, ever. That's my experience as a men's out with the men's. So I'm that good. So today we're going to talk about, I'm going to speak with the men who have sex with the other men. And we call them the gay. Okay, so there were two of the gays here tonight, and I don't think we really need to talk, and I'm hoping to talk with them a little bit about what it is to be a gay men's, because it's very complicated these days, partially because they're not very popular anymore, nobody talks about them, it's like the whole thing's done. Let me tell you, it's not done. Gay is still very complicated, and with lots of strange things going on. For one thing, and then I will stop, but we're supposed to get married now. Married! Can you imagine? Men, with other men, now fine. You want to get the married, you do the married. That's fine. I don't even think it's good for straight people. What can I say? But the gay men's doing it, they feel pressure to do it, they pressure to adopt the children's. And oh my goodness, the reason I'm gay is because I don't want to ever see a child again in my entire life. So I don't the children's in need. We don't get, I try to be nice to them, but they try to be crazy. I realize they're necessary, because you have to have, the next generation and all that. I guess you have to have, but though there's too many children. Anyway, but so I just think it's very good what we're doing as gay men when we're not getting married and not having children, and that is something very interesting and wonderful. That's what we're going to talk about today. Could we please have a little bit of applause for the gay men's? Thank you very much. I'm in a room where people are willing to applaud these gay men. Okay, so my first guest is a very gay man. I don't know what that means. Perhaps when I interview him, we will learn to understand what that means. But his name is Nathaniel Bacon, and he's going to sing for you a little bit a cappella, a little bit of his guitar, and then I will interview him, and it'll be pretty fascinating because Mr. Nathaniel Bacon is kind of a bit of a gay icon. Will you please welcome Mr. Nathaniel